Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be giving you my top TV recommendations to watch during quarantine. I was originally going to do a video where I gave you TV, film, books, YouTubers, music, all those recommendations. However, I thought that would be really long. I didn't know how much people wanted to see it, so I thought I might as well start with this little video because I've been watching a lot more TV than I have film and other stuff. I watch quite a lot of YouTube to be honest, so if you're interested in my YouTuber recommendations, I can do another video for that. But this one's going to be focusing solely on TV programs that I recommend. So, but some of these are ones that I've been watching previously, like past 2 years, 3 years, or like longer. Some of them are ones that I've just recently watched. So I'm going to give you all of them. These are my favourites, and if you want something to watch, these are good watches that I recommend you watch during quarantine, you know. I just thought I'd start by saying, if you've got any recommendations that aren't mentioned on my list, please let me know down below and I will happily take them on board because I'm slowly running out of things to watch. So a lot of these shows are binge worthy. A lot of them are quite easy viewing. Some of them are quite hard to watch. I'm not a binger. I don't like binging. I get bored of binging. I can't watch a TV series in a day. My brother can, and he can watch like 6 seasons in 2 days. And it blows my mind. I don't understand how you can do that. I just get really bored. I'll watch 2 episodes and I'm like, I need a break. So then I'll start something else and then I'll go back to it. I kind of hopscotch between a lot of different programs, but when I get invested in a program, I'll watch it all the way through, and I have been doing with some of these on the list. So let's go. So number 1 is Elite. It's a Netflix series. It's a Spanish Pretty Little Liars. Very steamy. It's like a murder mystery. It is a murder mystery. It's just very steamy and hot and very, very fun to watch. And originally when I started watching it, I found it really hard to watch because it was all in Spanish, but then I was trying to flip between watching the show and reading subtitles, but once you get used to it, it's quite easy to watch and you pick up the odd phrase, like juego. He's used so many times in that show. It's just very like raunchy and just very hot. So maybe don't watch it if you're a child. Next one is 911. This is a Ryan Murphy TV series. If you're not familiar with Ryan Murphy, he does American Horror Story, does Glee. A procedural drama, so like Grey's, but this follows like the LAPD and LAFD, Fire Department and Police Department, and it's just like bonkers. It's classic Ryan Murphy. It's campy, it's out there, it's emotional, the storylines are really well done, characters are really well fleshed out, and very, very big, like big scale emergencies. And every episode has this sense of emotional core that always gets to me. There's some message behind it, and I always end up crying because there's quite a lot of like current issues and social issues and things like that, and it's just really like heartwarming. Next one I'm going to recommend, by the way, these are in no order, these are just, I'm literally listing them off my notes. This just finished last week, and honestly I literally cried for 45 minutes because the finale for this season, the series, was so emotional. It was hard to cope. It's hard to get away with murder. I absolutely adore this. I started watching it in season 2. You have to pay attention to this. It's quite entangled and like it's confusing. You have to really pay attention. It's 45 minutes per episode, 15 episodes per season, and there's 6 seasons. It hooks you in and it works in a backwards story narrative, so when you watch it it'll make sense. I wasn't really a fan of it when I first started watching it because I wasn't familiar with that kind of style of storytelling. It grows on you, and then when the seasons start to pick up, they really pick up, and it's just constantly changing and you don't know what is going to happen next ever. In the how many years have I watched that show then? 5 years? The 5 years I've watched that TV show, 5 years, 4 years, whatever, I have never been able to guess what is coming up next. It has always kept me going, maybe it's this, oh my god it's not that, maybe it's this, not that, maybe it's this, not that, and it's constantly throwing you off and turning you into different directions, and it's kind of what is going on? But it's a really good show, really good casting. Viola Davis plays Annalise Keating, and the show is just very beautiful in the sense that the diversity and the inclusion, and the show in itself has broken a lot of boundaries and really shown what TV can be like, with people from all different races, people of colour, black people, gay people, anyone from the LGBT community, different nationalities, just all of that, like all that good stuff, you know. The equality is thriving in that, and that's one of the reasons I absolutely love that show. There's a lot of different faces, and I think that's a really important part of the show. And with that said, no one could have played Annalise Keating better than Viola Davis, hands down, because she's a phenomenal actress. Then we have another really light-hearted, just fun TV show. It's Modern Family. I love Modern Family. It's like 22 episodes a season and there's 11 seasons. It's just finished. Again, all these shows are finishing and it makes me sad because I have to now find new things to watch. Hey, that's part of the TV experience. Modern Family is just really light-hearted, it's very diverse, it's very modern. A lot of the shows that I watch are very diversity related. I try and make a choice on what shows I watch based on that as well. I don't do it purposefully, but if a show has got a diverse cast, I'm more drawn to it because I'm like, inclusivity. I want to see that. And I guess that in itself is a good way of making more shows like that. This next one has been slept on by so many people. I don't think many people actually know that it exists. This is Race Across the World, and it's just a fun show. It's on BBC Two. It's where teams compete to get from one place to another. The money that it would cost to get a flight, but they can't take a flight and they have to, you know, do that. I can't include like clips and things. I don't want to get copyrighted, but it's on BBC Two, and it's like a travel challenge. It's like a game show. And the first one they had to get to Singapore, and the second one they had to get to somewhere down in South America, the most southern point. Don't know what it's called, can't remember, but it's a really good show. And season 2's made me want to travel to South America even more now. First one came out before I went to Southeast Asia, and watching it back now, seeing the stuff that was in the TV show that I've been to, it's so weird because it makes me so giddy because I'm like, I was on that roof like there, you know? I love travel, as you're very well aware from my channel. If you're not, I do travel vlogs as well, so go check them out, they're on my channel. But I love travel, so something like that would genuinely stress me the hell out because I plan orientated person, and in the show you kind of just have to do it on a whim and just have to go with the flow, and that scares me, but it's also really exciting, and it's just very adrenaline fueled show, and it's I love it. I love it. It's so much. It's fun. The next one we've got is on Disney Plus. This is the Imagineering story. This is basically like a 6-part. Goes from the beginning of Walt Disney to the most current Disney theme park, and it goes through all the process behind making all the parks and how Disneyland first came to be, and then Florida, and then Shanghai, and then Tokyo Disney. The developments in the rides, the developments in the technology, and everything behind the curtain, as they say at Disney, that makes the magic, and they show you the whole process behind coming up with new ideas and things like that. It's a really interesting story. I used to be a really big fan of roller coasters when I was younger. Pete Roller Coaster Rishi 31 was my name. I don't even know why I called myself that. I was fascinated behind the process of roller coasters and things like that, and like how theme parks were built. I used to always like document the process of roller coasters being built and like Alton Towers and things like that, so I used to be a big fan. I've always been a fan of Disney, and seeing all of the stuff, like how much the technology has advanced in Disney and new parks being built, and what the process is of taking a park, plucking it up and moving it and things like that, it's just really fascinating to me. And if you're interested in that kind of stuff, if you're a fan of Disney, I wouldn't say if you're a fan of Disney to watch this, because it's kind of like it takes a bit of the magic away, but I find this more magical than the actual Disney stuff because I like seeing how all these animatronics and things like that work, because I'm like, wow. Pose is another Ryan Murphy TV series, and it's very good. It's about the ball culture in New York. I don't want to get any of this wrong because it's quite confusing. So Pose is an American drama series about New York City's African American and Latino LGBT and gender non-conforming ballroom culture in the 1980s, and in the second season, early 1990s. It features characters and dancers and models who compete for trophies and recognition in the underground culture, who are supported by one another through a network of chosen families called houses. They also tell a lot of stories about HIV and AIDS, the epidemic. So this show was praised because they had a lot of transgender actors playing transgender roles. They're quite long and they're quite heavy, so this is not an easy watch. It's emotional, it is really emotional, and it's beautiful. It is so beautifully done. I absolutely adore it. Next up we've got Euphoria. Euphoria is a HBO series. It's really beautifully done. Cinematically, the music is beautiful. Sonically, cinematically, if that's even a word. The actors, Zendaya is in it. The storyline, again, social issues about addiction, sexuality, and just so much is thrown in there. Sexual assaults, sexual harassment, things like that. It's a very heavy show. It is really hard to watch because it's dense. Every episode has something really hard hitting in it. Again, so not an easy watch, I'd say, but a beautiful show. I was explaining to my friend that she should watch it, and I was trying to convey it, but I just kept saying it was beautiful again and again because I couldn't find any other words to describe it. A lot of these shows you have to watch for yourself and come up with your own opinion, but my opinion of this show is that it is just so beautifully done. A commentary on society without being like, this is a section about the LGBT community. Like, flash. It's kind of like subtly done, but you know what they're doing. The next one is another Netflix one. It's Dead to Me. It's got Christina Applegate and I don't know her name. I keep forgetting. Linda Cardellini. You know what I'm on about? Velma from Scooby-Doo. Yeah, I can never pronounce her surname. It's really hard to pronounce. It's just very tongue-in-cheek. It's quite easy watching. I think there's like 10 episodes a season. There's 2 seasons. The second season just came out. Funny, it's quick-witted, and Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini work really well because they play polar opposites and they just bounce off each other. Another one that I recently watched was another Ryan Murphy production. It's Hollywood. It's basically post-World War II Hollywood spun into a modern-day storytelling of it, like a big studio company and loads of actors, and the actors are quite diverse sexuality wise and gender and race. There's a lot of different people from different races, people of colour, and it's imagined in a way that people who wouldn't have originally thrived in that kind of setting would have thrived in this series. So it's like the first black woman to be the lead role in a film is what the storyline is they're working on. A bit odd in my head because I was trying to piece together what was happening and how it was working and how it actually worked, because there were some things in the TV show that made sense if they were to do it as a reimagining, but they did things that wouldn't be like that if they'd done it properly. Like, you'd get what I mean when you're watching the TV show, but overall it's a good TV show. Classic Ryan Murphy. It's camp. Again, weird with the storytelling. I was a bit confused, but the cinematic structure of it is beautiful. The way the camera pans and stuff like that. The way the story is conveyed through the camera work. I'm very big on camera work. If the visuals are beautiful, I'm in. Like, I love it. And it was just a really fun TV show. It's quite emotional. I invested it, and that was a TV show I finished in 2 days. I recommend that. Next up, we've got Normal People, which is on BBC 3. A lot of people have been raving about this, so I thought I'd give it a go. There's 12 episodes. Quite easy watching, as in sense of there's not a lot to watch, but each episode is very hard hitting. Like, there's a lot of commentary and a lot of issues they tackle in it that are quite hard to watch. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful story. And I think episode 10, when one of the main characters goes through something, you'll see what I mean when you watch it. I related to it personally, and I was in floods of tears for that episode because I saw myself in that situation through him, and it just brought me back to a time where I just cried for that episode. But the whole series is beautifully done. Again, cinematically and visually, absolutely stunning. Nice storytelling, easy to follow along. I don't know how to describe. I don't ever have very many adjectives, do I? And then last but not least, we've got Never Have I Ever. This is a Mindy Kaling TV show. She wrote it, I think. Basically, this Indian American girl going through like high school and like boys and family life, and it's just funny. And being an Indian myself, I can see all of the stuff, like she's praying at the beginning to the gods just because she wants to do well in a maths test, and I'm like, this is literally what we did as kids. Just typical Indian stuff that you can laugh at. Obviously, there's not much representation like that on TV. Quite a diverse cast again. There's one whole episode was literally like Hinduism based, and it was just funny to watch. A lot of humour that I don't think a lot of people would get, but it's still a good TV show that I could recommend. But it's also emotional. I get very emotional. I'm very emotionally focused. My heart is on my sleeve and everywhere else. Yeah, that is my TV recommendations for quarantine. I kind of went off on a tangent, to be honest. I kind of got a bit confused with some of them. Let me know if you've got any recommendations that you think I should watch. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. It does me the world of good. It helps me out. I don't think a lot of people know this, but leaving a like and subscribing helps me boost my videos and get more people to see them. So it does help. So it's not just me saying, give a like if you want to give it a like, just for fun. My Instagram and my other social medias are linked down below. That is it. I don't have anything else to say. So I shall see you guys in my next video, which is next Monday. It's another travel vlog. I believe this will be the Singapore travel vlog, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. So please subscribe, like, turn on the notification bell, and stay tuned for that video. I am so buzzing. It's a really long it's a long one, half an hour long. You know what, it was 2 hours of footage that took me ages to cut down, and I'm super excited for everyone to see it. So if you want to check that out, please stay tuned. Yeah, that is when I'll see you next. So I've actually got an idea of when I will see you next. So that's good, we're making progress. Till then, take care, stay safe, and I shall see you guys very soon. Monday to be exact. Bye.